So, this is going to be an attempt to bring a few worlds and involve them together. As we often talk about place on the podcast, the whole lab's aim that I've stated normally. Know that my research lab is people, places, and technology. So putting all those worlds together, I've been thinking about this idea for a while of bringing mindfulness to people, which is an area I'm interested in as a practitioner. I've been meditating for almost 10 years, tried different styles, got into some of the philosophies of meditation, but oftentimes I find that meditation is still very much about the self or the discussion of the non-self, whereas my research around place and places as a unit of looking at things is fundamentally not even interested in that distinction between what's self and what's not self. So maybe there's something in the practice that can be taken to a bigger audience if it wasn't so much a sit down and be on your own kind of a thing, right? At its core, there is an ascetic life of someone sitting in a cave that meditated. That's where the tradition comes from a little bit, whether we like it or not. The more Eastern meditation, not the Christian meditations or religious meditation, or like philosophical meditations, which used to mean just thinking, pure thinking. And then the technology thing, the aspect, people, place, and technology. I've realized on-the-go computing is now possible. As someone that loves to move about and runs ultramarathons, I've benefited by this a lot because of I've recently officially as well been diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Obviously it's a big debate about how much of it is a disorder and how much of it is just inappropriate in a sedentary lifestyle societies to have ADHD, because I don't have the cognitive component problem that much. It's just hyperactivity, impulsivity, which is not very pleasant for people if I need to be stuck in a room for a long time. But when I'm out and about, as I usually am when I record podcasts, I'm an absolutely pleasant person. I think no need for caveats there. So this is going to be an experimentation because I'm trying this out. It's literally something that I think it's a concept that first came a few episodes ago, and I called it Placefulness, where I thought it was about having the full potential of a place, and that's helpful. But also I just realized it's like there surely are those moments of placefulness experienced by people, and in my PhD research I had participants just say when they knew some decision was right, and then it's one of those moments similar to big stressful events where all of your surroundings around you, so you become very much aware of the place you're in. So what's that about, right? But actually, can that be turned into a practice that could be sustained and operated from, rather than something that happens to us every now and then? And this is where it's like it's not scientific. It's, I'm trying to think through how some of the more, as they're called, non-dual mindfulness practices that I've been trying out fit into the understanding of the mind and the heart. And it seems like the more traditional focus of meditation is about focusing on an object, whether it's going to be in single pointed concentration or body scans, focusing on different parts of the body. But these non-dual traditions, they have either pointing out exercises to demonstrate how your awareness is already kind of broad, rather than you being a center of the experience, which is kind of when you're not aware of that. It's the normal way of operating, it seems, imagining you're a small self behind your eyes most often. So yeah, this kind of broad, and it's not based on focus, but just on falling back into what some of the teachers call open-hearted awareness. That's Locke Kelly. It's a guy I went into the app from Sam Harris, Waking Up, and that's been a different mode of being than I had been aware of before, and it just seems to work for me. But again, it's based on glimpses, but it's still somehow based on the self. So what I'll be trying is, as I'm walking, I'll try and think about how to do the same pointers or a similar approach to open rather than focused awareness, but as a walking meditation. Maybe I'll try them for running as well. So I just think that there's something about asking people to sit down in one spot while they're trying a new thing out, and that maybe is limiting to the audience that it can reach, because meditation's been, probably the biggest contributor to well-being in my life, apart from all the general health care for when I've had properly messed up situations. So I don't want to go into any woo territory, medicine all the way, but mindfulness can get us out of our own way, basically. So let's try with a short walk. The first thing that we can think about as we walk is just being aware of our surroundings and noises. For me, there's obviously the cars. When I go closer to the river, onto the side, I can hear the wind and the trees. Become aware of how much of my usual awareness is occupied by just the visual sense. That has a role to play as well, so naturally seeing how the old and the new mix into place around us. For me, this is an old building that's being restored as part of a new building. Check checking what's on announcements for what's about to happen in the future in this place. Very often people skip those because we are not aware of how they actually work. But this is where the very practical person who wants to say, you always can have a say, just have a look. There is a contact normally on these little plaques all over, or pieces of paper that the council has to put to let the public know about what's going to happen. So we've involved different senses. We haven't involved touch because it's there by default. Every time our feet touch the ground. Maybe now you can draw your attention a bit to that, but not just to you, that small idea of the self, but by exploring a way to walk around your path, or for me, in my case, I just put my foot up on a railing, overseeing the river, looking out, seeing and taking in the landscape, with the church on the opposite bank, and the trees, and the sounds of the road behind. All difficult to separate out from one another. Removes the focus of this self, not self, and takes the broader place of awareness. Hope it worked for you. Seems to be working for me, at least. It's an interesting way to practice. It doesn't bound you to the sitting down position in an already sedentary society. So I'll try normally these things probably it's even more explicit that there should be a disclaimer. Not a doctor, not a whatever, not a meditation qualified teacher as well, so God knows who's doing it right, but it's experimental. It's fun.